Folks, we are here
Oh,
muted.
hey.
Hey, there you are.
Welcome to American Wasp. I'm your host, Dieter McBusiness, joined as always by Devil's Advocate Productions, Alex.
What
What's
is going
good,
on?
man?
What's good? Well, I'll tell you
Is
what's
it
good.
cold back east? Is it snowing?
It's warming up, thankfully, after several weeks of it being sub-zero freezing snow temperatures.
Yeah.
Uh, and today I was very excited because I heard that the trailer for the new Green Lantern TV show is coming out tomorrow, but
These are the
actually
important
it
things. Yeah.
leaked and then they just dropped it today. So I made a reaction on my channel. It's over there. Go check it out, folks. I am so excited.
Oh well, that's fantastic, man. I'm really thrilled for you. I remember when I was a kid and like the first X-Men movie came out,
Yeah,
and it was like it was the first. I think it was the first Marvel movie that was ever made because Batman and Superman were DC comics,
Blade.
and I thought it was really good, and so was the second one. The third one got a little weird, but
The third one was the
that
first
I knew
movie I
that
saw in theaters where I was like, is this a bad movie?
I knew that uh, comic book movies would overtake the entire film industry, along with and then followed by video game movies, um, because movies are small. They're small stories. They're
Yeah.
only 2.5 hours long at most. Growing up, there would be an occasional 3 hour movie. Gettysburg, which I highly recommend, I think is 5 hours,
Oh my
but
god.
every minute of that movie is fantastic. Highly recommend Gettysburg.
Birth of a
Um,
Nation is like 4 hours.
is it?
Yeah, 4.5 hours. We watched that in film class, film
Yeah,
history class.
everybody should watch it at some point.
Yeah, it is like
Um,
an important movie in the history of film and editing, but also highly racist.
but
Made
you got to look at the ugly. That's maybe a
right.
good point to
Yes.
start out with. Is like, in it's something that I just can't deal with the softness anymore. It's like you don't fix the wound
Yeah.
by not looking at it. You got to look right at it and see how it's bleeding and where
Yeah. You
there's
don't censor the N word or ban Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn from being taught in schools. You
right.
say, this is the word at the time. It's not okay. But in context, here's the story.
Speaking of what should be taught in schools, I think a lot of this Middle Eastern conflict would be a lot easier to solve if we taught religion in schools at a high school level. What if senior spring you took a survey class where you studied all five major religions? It's not that hard. It's really not. To get just the belief systems down
Mhm.
doesn't take that long. The history of the religion, that's that's the real grind in terms of the intellectualism of understanding religion because then you get exposed to the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
But and then you get into the roots of why the religion was put in place in the first place, which was probably to control large quantities of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of religion, we got a couple uh news stories from last night. There was a primary elections across the country in several different states, and James Talarico, who I first heard when you brought him up, maybe first or second week of doing this show with you. You brought said, "Hey, this guy in Texas, he's pretty good at communicating to
He's
Christians,"
got
and
good
now
skills. Yeah. Yep.
now he's won that primary,
Yep.
and the person who now won Jasmine Crockett's Congress seat that she left to run for Senate, uh, apparently was like her pastor, and gave this speech on October 8th of 2023, right after Israel started their genocide. And let me just play this for you.
That we got to be pro-Israel. Yeah, we got to do that, or we get in trouble. Well, I'm coming to get in trouble. And I'm gonna quote Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter says that Israel is engaging in apartheid with Palestinians. And so the Palestinians who don't have the weaponry of Israel, the Palestinians don't have the financial backing from the United States that Israel has. And so they throw their rocks and shoot their arrows, and Israel is able to bomb them and kill them. Watch in the news a disparity between Palestinians being killed and Israelis being killed. It is totally unfair, but this country is going to stand on the side of apartheid because that's its track record. It stood by apartheid in South Africa because it created apartheid in this country.
And he has not backed off this position. I love it. We also had a win.
So he just became a congressman. That guy
Yeah.
just won a congressional primary.
Yeah, her seat, Jasmine
Great.
Crockett.
So he should probably win the general then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in Arkansas, they flipped a district from red to blue, a 26-point overperformance from Democrats in Arkansas.
Yeah, dude, people are pissed.
People are pissed, and we already got the consultant class rallying their troops to try and stop this reckoning. Here's David Sirota saying, for the first time in my entire lifetime, Democrats' corporate wing is losing its power to win primaries, control the party, and crush its voters' will, which is why all of those corporate billionaire front groups are now freaking out and trying to call the manager. Democratic Party's moment of reckoning is the party of Obama-esque corporate appeasement finally becoming the party of Sanders-style populism? I say, let's hope.
Let's hope so. I mean, that's a bold title. I feel like Obama, I'm dealing with in my essays now how much I want to lay into Obama. And I got to tell you, I don't know. I don't know how I don't think I'm going to hold back. So far, what I've written so far, I haven't. But yeah, I mean, the corporate appeasement is what it's been.
And it's being seen now. Like, people have been talking about this for decades, Bernie Sanders, whatnot, but like now it's clearer than ever. Especially now you can have like APAC Tracker, Oil Tracker. That group is doing fantastic work, just constantly not letting anyone post anything without they're good on this or they're bad on this. And I think has done a fantastic job in just highlighting the double speak, I will say I'm for these policies, but I'm getting money from the exact same people who are giving money to Trump and these racists. It turns people off. They don't want to have anything to do with AIPAC. They're trying to hide the money now and put it through different PACs with different names in different regions, but it's all flowing from the same handful of billionaire donors because there's only so many of them. And I think really I see this change, man. I really hope I'm right. I really hope I'm right.
I think the pendulum's definitely swinging back left. It's just a matter of how far and in what size, color, shape is that pendulum by the time it gets to that maximum left point. You know, we like to think of ourselves.
I hope it's a rainbow-colored pendulum with a hammer and sickle logo on it.
That'd be cool, I guess. No, I don't really care so much about that as long as more progressives multiply. I'm encouraged by Graham Plattner's campaign. We should talk about Kat Abizalia. It's kind of a safe place to do it. Man, what is she? She's tripping all over herself with foreign policy, and I got to say, I'm not surprised. I don't mean to be ageist, but she's what, 27?
Yeah, 20s, mid-20s, I think.
So she did not live through the end of the Cold War. And she did not, obviously, in her studies, go back and kind of explore the Cold War imperialism and also how the relationship with China has formed over the years. I mean, we are attached at the hip to China. The good news is that they're attached to the hip to us.
Right.
Like, it's
They're
friendly
still technically an
relations.
ally, correct?
Right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, dude. We're doing business with China every
Right. Like I
fucking
have to
day.
know.
Every day. Every day, millions and billions of dollars move between China and the US.
Dude, I
Every
remember
fucking
in
day.
what was it, 2012, Mitt Romney's debate with Obama, and Romney was talking about like conflicts with China, and Obama had like a witty line like, "Oh, we're not using horses and buggies either. China's not an enemy."
Well, he
Or
said that
they might
about
have been talking
Russia.
about
He
Russia.
said that about Russia
You're right. You're right. You're right.
with in a debate with Romney, and then he ended
Yeah, and
up
then 2
looking
years later,
stupid.
Crimea. Fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
there you go. See, someone studies their history. But the thing that I don't know, man. This is I don't know if you're half black, half Jew, right?
Yes.
Okay, so well, it's relevant to an essay that I'm working on because, and I really wanted to get it out in time for the end of Black History Month, but I just couldn't do it. Um, I'm using video from interviews with predominantly Malcolm X, but also one video clip of MLK. X is talking about the white liberals and their hypocrisy and their involvement in the kind of inserting themselves and always having to be in the lead and shit like that, right?
Mhm.
And then MLK talks about the white moderate, beware the white moderate. Um, and so I that is just in my mind as like we got to make sure internally that when we swing to the left that the white liberals, aka the white moderates, aka the people that X and MLK saw coming 60 years ago, that they don't castrate the movement because they did that in really, in my opinion, explicitly starting in 1992 with the election of Bill Clinton. But
Mhm.
if you talk to black people, they would probably tell you it was much earlier than that because there was a lot of capitulation by a Democratic Congress while Reagan was president for his
Yeah.
war on drugs.
Oh yeah.
So,
Absolutely before that.
I mean, it's just I'm always reluctant to quote civil rights leaders, but they're just so right. They're so right, and they're 60 years ahead of their time. So I just have to do this essay for better or worse. And the theme of it is another trichotomy where the establishment or the GOP, it's obvious, but with the establishment left, it's not as obvious. The three cardinal sins of these political parties are hypocrisy, narcissism, and ignorance. And if you, especially with the Democratic Party, if you look at the last three presidential elections, they are loaded with baby boomer hypocrisy, baby boomer narcissism, and baby boomer ignorance. Oh yeah, Clinton was a good president. Let's nominate his wife in 2016, even though like there had been plenty of time for people to review the effect of Bill Clinton's policies. And even though they had all that time, they didn't, because if they did, they would have realized that in and of itself, Glass-Steagall caused the 2008 housing crisis. And we're going to make this person's wife a president just because we want to have the first female president. Like, give me a goddamn
turn,
break.
Dieter. It was her turn.
Exactly.
She moved
There you go.
aside for the black guy, for the half black, half white guy, like
Ooh,
me.
Careful.
Well, that's what he is. He's half black, half white, like me.
How many people?
Also
Wait, how many
to
people?
be half Christian, half Jewish.
How many people? How many people do you think? What percentage of white America do you think knows that Obama is half black, half white?
Good question. Good. They
50,
know
50%
I'd say
at best.
more people know that his dad was
50%
from
at
Kenya
best.
than they know that
His mother was white,
Right,
And he was
yeah.
raised by white grandparents.
Yeah. But yeah, to wrap up this section of the Dems winning, and
Yeah.
you brought up Cat. I think that was a Cat's misstep. First of all, I'm like, this is definitely some Oppo research that whatever corporate Dems she's running against waited till the last 2 weeks until the election to release, to put out. Dropsite, I know, was the first to cover this. They might have got, who knows where they got it from, if it was a leak or like delivered to them, or it was just like, oh, we just found this reporting. So that's one thing, and I don't say that to be like deflecting from criticism of cat. Like, I think that's, I don't know foreign policy. I'm not a geopolitical guy either.
Right.
So
Well,
I don't
but
know if positions
she
are
brought
like super right wing or left wing or like good or bad. But it seems to me from the heat I've seen her take from Hassan, who was like, I just had you on my show, and now I'm watching this clip, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't agree with this. To Vanguard today being like, I don't really see a problem with this. I don't know if she was going to win. I think it was smart for her to run and at least get these issues in the forefront of this campaign.
Right.
But if she does win, I also know she is not going to single-handedly be deciding foreign policy for whatever government.
Right. But she brought, so a couple things. One is she kind of brought this on herself by not having a more diverse portfolio of policy proposals and making her campaign, have the central issue be Israel-Palestine. And that invites challenges to her foreign policy chops. And I think she's been a little bit exposed. She's done the best she could. She's very smart and can bullshit with pretty well. But I think with Ryan and Crystal today, they kind of exposed her as being a pretty lightweight when it comes to foreign policy.
A little green.
I think you're right. Just green, exactly. And like I said, she's 27. Like she knows America, but she does not know. Like, this is what I try to tell people: when you're outside government, you do not understand as fully the international socioeconomic variables that are going on around the world until you are in government, right? Like, there's so much shit that the American public doesn't know what's going on. And like, for example, Israel, like they kept the American public in the dark about this relationship for 35, 45 years. And now here it is. And people have had it.
Yeah.
And people are, because when people are like, this is really bad. I'm like, yeah, do your history. This has been going on for a long time. It's been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been going on for a long time. When I was a kid, I told you, it's kind of like I don't mean to repeat myself, but it's just anecdotal. It's just my personal experience. But ever since I started watching the evening news with my old man, when I was 5 years old with Tom Brokaw on NBC, every night at 6:30, the most frequent foreign policy news story was Israel going to war with someone.
Right.
Every fucking year we would get that story.
The first time,
oh, weird.
I learned about it. I remember being in school, seeing a textbook. We're learning a little bit. We're probably talking about World War II, and like as an afterthought, they're like, and what happened to the Jews? Well, the British felt bad, so they gave this portion of land that they owned under their empire to the Jews to have.
Jerusalem.
Was anybody there? Yeah, maybe, but they all worked it out and it was fine. And I'm looking at the map of like Palestine, and then it shrinks, and then Israel's there, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, so they conquered it. And they're like, no, they didn't conquer it. They were giving it to it, and it was a deal, and it was this and that. I'm like, but it looks like conquering to me. And that was, and the teacher didn't really know what to say, moved on. But that was me as a kid, just being like, I can see a picture of a map that says Palestine, and then over time, Palestine shrinks into little sections called Gaza and the West Bank, and now Israel's in its place. How is that not conquering? And I'm correct as a little kid.
I know, that's pretty astute. I would say I was programmed to think that they were entitled to the land, that it was always theirs, and they were just getting it back because mainly because Jerusalem was the capital city in that culture for 2,000 years or something.
Yeah.
And learning about at Sunday school about the Christ's crucifixion and so forth.
Speaking of,
but it's just like I was always programmed to think it was always theirs. I never did that history until I was much older. Really, not till, if I'm being honest, I really didn't research the history of Israel until college, really.
Word.
Yeah.
Now,
At
speaking
least
of,
I did it. Most people don't do it.
yeah. Speaking of religion, continuing,
Yeah.
but I wanted to bring these stories to you
Sure.
because I thought you'd have some good insight. First, I want to play this. Well, first, I want to show you this picture. This is, this is a story about vaccines. Parents tried to shield their children from vaccines. Instead, they got measles. Rising exemptions are playing a big role in the measles outbreak that is sickening, hospitalizing, and killing children in the U.S. This person says anti-vaxxers are bad parents. Not vaccinating your child is abuse. We should eliminate all non-medical exemptions for vaccines. Sorry, not sorry. And that goes into like the religious kind of entitlement that they have of like, well, I believe in this fairy tale, so I should be able to not vaccinate my kids. And here's Christy Nome being asked questions by Jamie Raskin about slandering Renee Good and Alex Preddy, and she just lies.
But only a few hours after they were gunned down by your agents, you called Renee a domestic terrorist. You said Alex committed an act of domestic terrorism. Alex's parents responded to your calling their son a domestic terrorist. They said the sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. And I want to give you a chance before the entire country to correct your false and defamatory claim. Based on what you know today, Madam Secretary, were Renee Good and Alex Preddy domestic terrorists?
Congressman, what happened in Minnesota in those two incidents was an absolute tragedy.
Were
And I
they
offer my
domestic terrorists, as you said to the
and my
country?
condolences to their families, because I know that their lives will never be the same after that happened.
Is that an apology for what you said?
We, in those incidents, offer as much information as we can from officers and agents on the ground in a chaotic scene that gets.
I'll repeat
relayed
my question,
to
reclaiming
us.
my.
So this is, I think, just a perfect example of what you talk about in your essays: the entitlement,
Yeah.
the ego. I can lie and
Yeah.
like don't believe what I said 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago. Believe what I'm saying now, and I'm just saying it's a tragedy. I'm not even going to address the question. And the anti-vax shit. Just like, I believe in this fairy tale, ergo I am entitled to do this, this, or this.
Yeah, I think it's narcissism, and it's that inauthentic, narcissistic social entitlement that I talk about for sure. Yeah, and it comes from privilege and power. You know, people on the left understandably talk about how when you make too much money, you become a little bit of a sociopath, or become even more of a sociopath the more wealth you accumulate. Well, that's the case with power, too, I believe. I believe power really changes people. And Christy Noem just has been told filibuster because all of our followers are just going to find the stuff that they want to read anyway. So just don't go back on anything you've already said.
And if she admits guilt, then she can get thrown under the bus and say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, why are you sorry? Because you did something wrong? Now you're
Right.
going to get fired and replaced?
Yeah, our culture does not reward contrition. It's better. You're better off just denying it and taking your chances in court.
Yeah.
Do you have more stuff you want to react to? Because I did want to talk about my video that I'm putting together for the DSA this week.
Yes. I just wanted to talk about Iran real quick.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do Iran.
And then we'll get into that. But
Sure.
So, firstly, I think this is just fantastic. One of the writers of South Park, or former writers rather, I believe it's Toby Morton because he's done this before, bought a website and called the website draftbarontrump.com. America is strong because its leaders are strong. President Trump proves that every day. Naturally, his son Barron is more than ready to defend the country his father so boldly commands. Service is honor, strength is inherited. Dog bless Barron, it says. So this is a website just, parroting
Testimonials.
Trump and whatever, and saying, yes, we should draft Barron. If you're going to send people to war and put boots on the ground in Iran, send your son. Send your youngest son. This is also came out that Iran put their planes underground, but painted planes on the surface
Stones.
so that
Yeah.
overhead drones would think they were bombing planes, and they're literally falling for a Wile E. Coyote joke.
That's cool.
Yeah. So like this is literally the or the Israeli military bombing what they think are planes, but are just painted graffiti on the ground. This is how competent. And thank God, I guess, or we're not as competent because this could be a lot of devastation. But here, more narcissism, more entitlement. We've talked about how they are calling this a religious war, trying to bring about Armageddon. Here's Mike Huckabee, the ambassador to Israel, saying the memo addressed to U.S. diplomats, local staff, and family members said that if the extended time with your spouse hiding in bomb shelters results in the birth of your next child in about 9 months, I, of course, expect that you will want to name the little bugger after me. So not only are they doing this for religious reasons and openly saying this is for religious reasons, but encouraging people to breed to fulfill the white man's destiny of outnumbering the dark hordes of foreign invaders to the world or whatever. And just your take on that insanity that's happening over in Israel.
Yeah, I mean, Huckabee is a psycho. Huckabee is a Confederate Christian psycho to a T, and is the personification of Confederate Christianity's obsession with the spiritual credibility of ancient Judaism. And
Word.
they are thinking that the more conservative the form of Judaism, the more ancient it is, the more valid it is. They've got a special in with God. I mean, it's the kind of spiritual credibility Christians could only dream about, right? So yeah, the religious right, like you can't say all Zionists are Jews, but not all Jews are Zionists. You can't say that because plenty of Southern evangelicals are Zionists. And yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Like, it's just I'm sick of it being a war zone, man. You know, America is involved in 7 international military conflicts right now.
Really? How many?
Yeah.
Where else?
Well, there's Ukraine.
Right. Okay.
There's Israel, Palestine. There's Israel, Iran. That's 3. And then the other, I don't know where the other 4 are, to be honest with you.
It is
But I
really
know they're
crazy because I
around.
remember like under Obama, going back to how everyone praises him. Oh, he didn't start any wars. It's like, well, he didn't need to. He just sent drones to Syria, Lebanon, several other countries, Yemen, several other countries without declaring war, saying that we're sending anybody over there, just doing it very quietly. And, I don't know, just saying that, oh, we're not starting any wars. We're just still just Iraq and Afghanistan. We're trying to stop that. Don't worry. Maybe we'll close Guantanamo Bay. Maybe.
Well, it's
And
kind of
just
speaking
stringing
to
everyone along.
you citing that is speaking to a theme that has been going on in this session, which I think I maybe brought up last night on Left Coast Live, and that's just the lack of seasoning in people like Kat Abigazelia. Like, and remember, Obama was a senator for 25 months before he announced his candidacy for president.
Damn, really?
And so,
That's short.
like, do you think in 25 months, you know what I said earlier about being in the government and being made cognizant of all these variables that you don't even know about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With respect to foreign policy, do you think 25 months was enough for Obama to like learn all that?
I don't
Or,
think
like,
it was enough time for Obama to decide what he wanted to do with his life. I think he just ran for something to up his profile. I
Well,
think he would have been very happy just making stuff for Netflix that he's doing right now.
I think it was a bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush, meaning that it's like, okay, I could run for president now when I'm red hot in popularity,
Right.
and just go for it now. This is the bird in hand. I don't know if I'm ever going to be this popular again. And usually when you go into the Senate and you have to make votes, over time your popularity goes down.
Right.
So Obama's a smart guy. He knows that. He's a student of the game. And so he took a chance. Plus, he was like, I'm going to be going up against, Hillary Clinton, and she's going to be bringing all that Clinton baggage. And it's like, the question to the general public is like, do you want something old or do you want something new?
Yeah.
And 9
And he
times out
got
of 10, when the American consumer is presented with something old versus something new, they're going to pick something new.
And he got that prime spot doing the response to Bush's State of the Union, right? That was the first time he got his profile up.
I just remember the first time I
Or
remember
was it
seeing
the,
Obama
DNC?
was when he won the Senate in 2004.
Oh, okay, I think it was the DNC then in 2004. He gave a speech.
Yeah, it must have been at the
for John
must
Kerry.
have been at the two. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So yeah, you got a video that you're gonna make on Friday, and you wanted to run by the script with us.
Yeah, so I'm doing a pitch video for the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. They actually have 10,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel, but for whatever reason, they're not churning out daily content. They totally should be. So I'll go through this pretty quick, but just and let me know what you think. It's only a couple minutes long, and I'm keeping it short on purpose, and it's not done yet. So this is all just me, and you got to imagine me kind of like, and I'll do a little acting here to give some, because I'm in my essays. In case you haven't seen my essays, I like to talk with my hands a little bit. So,
Folks, check out Dieter's essays if you have not on the Dieter Big Business American Wasp channel.
Welcome to being the center of attention, comrades. Now let me show you what to do with it. You're looking at someone who knows how to capture people's attention and, more importantly, how to retain that attention long enough to influence them toward behavioral change. I studied media in college, film producing in grad school, and have worked as both an actor and a stand-up comic. You must have realized by now that these desperate times constitute a moment of historical importance because they constitute an historical opportunity for the progressive left to acquire real political power for the first time in 6 decades. I aspire to persuade you that if you add my media strategy to your overall strategic growth plan, the next 32 months will be when we Democratic Socialists of America assert ourselves as the catalysts for cleansing today's neoliberal Democratic Party of greed-driven policy and replacing it with pragmatic, progressive policy. With Democratic Party polls at historic lows, anyone and everyone in this country who isn't MAGA is desperately seeking an institution that will promise to deliver a new brand of politics. While our brand of politics might not be new to most of us already in the DSA, it will feel new to normies, and that newness is a very attractive quality. Our membership just hit 6 figures. Well, if we nail this strategy by 2028, our membership could be 3 to 5 times what it is now, effectively making the Democratic Party our party, making America's political future our future. I propose we build a media machine, the likes of which the cognizant left has never seen. Interviews with DSA members all over the country about their chapter's activities will be our most abundant source of content in the pipeline. On top of celebrating the hardworking DSA members and especially active chapters, I suggest we interview politicians and host issue-specific live streams that include both knowledgeable members and experts. If given enough time, I could make some videos similar to the essays on my channel that would explain our ideology to normies and newcomers. I also have a very robust network of YouTube content creators that all love the DSA and would likely be willing to come on our channel, bringing at least a portion of their audience with them. A few are even active DSA members from Chicago, New Orleans, and several other cities. Over time, a regular cast of contributors will likely form who come on to cover news and current events, effectively making our YouTube channel a trusted source of takes on the day's happenings. The best circumstance of this proposal is that your DSA YouTube channel already has more than 10,000 subscribers, which is the crucial threshold for breaking through the search algorithm. We're not starting from scratch, and let me express my gratitude to the parties involved with building the DSA's YouTube channel into what it is today. Thanks to you, the hardest part of this project is behind us. Now that we have the vision, let's talk about execution. And then I'm actually going to stop there because it gets a little more.
Well,
about
first
me
of
and stuff
all,
like that. But what do you?
applause.
What do you yeah. So far,
Applause.
so
I
good.
think that's great. I think my only critiques, in a wording standpoint, is literally, the network of contributors who will likely become a regular cast. I would remove the word likely. They will.
Will,
They
okay.
will become a regular cast, and the central hub of takes instead of takes. I would say information.
Information, yeah.
Because don't classify them as you're just getting all kinds of different takes. No, we're getting good information.
Okay.
Good information. That's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah, and
that's a
also
perfect pitch.
saying it out loud to you too. It is a little like it. I might rewrite some other parts of it just because it was like it's a little it's a little literal, right? Like it's a little
Yeah.
bit. It's a little bit more of like the written word being spoken. But it's a style that I do for my videos, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I might do it a little bit more motor mouth, like, and try to simplify the language, I guess, and the
Yeah,
sentence
maybe.
structures. But
Maybe just
but
a little
maybe.
bit.
By the
But
way,
yeah, you got
our
the
viewers our
last
viewers
one.
have
That was
gone.
fire. That was
Good.
hot fire.
Good, because I think I think it's interviews with DSA members and chapter heads all over the country. I think it's issue specific live streams featuring experts and really knowledgeable members. And then, we get politicians, we get union reps, we get people from this space to come on. Like there's no reason why the DSA YouTube channel can't be creating content every day.
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly. I mean, look, you said a lot of words to emphasize the most basic point of what the fuck are you doing with this YouTube channel that has 10,000 subscribers? Why don't you fucking pump it out content, you goddamn idiots?
Yeah.
That's you said it in a much nicer, much more friendly way than I think the sentiment entails. So I think that's perfect, and I really hope this works out because that would be huge, man. That would be
Yeah.
huge.
I'm just
Again, not
shocked
just
that they
for
don't
you,
have a
for the
stronger media
DSA.
presence.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm shocked. Like, and I
And
said later on in the writing, which I didn't, where I stopped, I talk about, I'm considering being like, one of the things that's good to do is have like a specific goal when we know like this is really working and when we've really arrived. And I think it's having a sheik who is one of the co-chairs on Meet the Press. It's like here on Meet the Press is the co-chair of the Democratic Socialists of America. Now we are being taken seriously. Meet the Press is the oldest television program in the history of television. It is the most respected source of access to A-list political figures in American politics.
Yeah.
And so if you had a sheik come on and I want him to get his own interview. I don't want him to be like on a panelist, eventually, whatever. But get him on Bill Maher, like or get somebody else. I don't know, somebody in the comms department. But the DSA needs to and that's one of the things that is the big criticism of the DSA is that locally they're money, locally they're great. Like everybody loves the local activism with the DSA. Nationally, they do not present as a united group of people,
or organized, or that there's any
even that active,
spokespeople.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Like when Mamdani won, there should have been spokespeople from the DSA being like, "Hey, MSNBC, CNN, get us on there so we can explain our platforms.
Right.
Get us on there to explain how we upset Andrew Cuomo. Get us on there to explain why Biden lost and why Kamala lost. We could tell you. We don't need an autopsy report." I think this YouTube channel really could churn out good leaders. Like you'll be able to decipher this person's good on camera. This person could probably
Right.
debate
Talent. Yep.
someone on CNN, push them further in the organization. And then you can also just, again, have, here's just regular goings on of what day-to-day life is like in the DSA. Here's a food pantry that we're putting together. Here's a protest that we're putting together. And here's the candidates that we selected in this area to run. And here's an interview with them. And then
that's what I'm thinking. It could
Somebody else
be like
for TikTok and every other social media, but the YouTube channel is where the content is made.
what if it's a weird parallel, right? But you know the Christian Broadcasting Network? You ever heard of that?
Absolutely, yes.
What if this was the Christian Broadcasting Network for people on the left who hate the Democratic Party?
We need one. We need one. Because TYT was that, right? Al Jazeera was that, but not enough. It's not enough. But this could be enough. This could really, really push the DSA to a point where, like you said, we're going to take over the Democratic Party. It's our party.
We're at 100,000 members now. I think
Right.
in 2028 we could be at 300,000 to 500,000. And I mean, I don't know. I think big. I get ahead of myself a lot in life, and so this would be
It's all
no
right.
different. But I mean, the round figure of 1 million, dude. Like, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
It's not that expensive. I think people will be down to spend $10 to $15 a month to be part of something that actually means a difference. Especially if that $10 to $15 a month gets them access to special content. If we got enough content generating on the DSA YouTube, we could have tiers like they have on real channels.
Yeah. And this all this money goes into DSA, and here's where it's going. It's going to fund these candidates who are running or organize this mutual aid project or whatever. Like this could be a real engine
Right.
for and yes, I think you're right. A lot of people would happily spend that money to be a part of something if they knew that it was something they could be a part of. If they are
it's a
aware
click
that
away. But if it's
exactly.
if it's a click away, then they see the results of they see where their money's going. There's a saying in Hollywood, I want to see all the money up on the screen.
Right.
Meaning every dime we spend should be going to make sure what ends up on the screen is as good as it can possibly be. And that's what this would be for the DSA is like, whereas your local chapter money is necessary, but maybe you could, I don't know. The economics are of growth are going to be fine, but they've got a lot of really good literature, but it's exactly that. It's literature. And
Right.
I'm like, I need to make you guys videos that people can sit down, have a cup of coffee, listen to, and be educated on.
Yeah, and then clips
there's a
from
difference.
those videos that you put on TikTok, because where are the eyeballs? You got to get stuff in front of people's eyeballs.
But this is the learning process for me, and it's on my channel where the live streams and the shortcuts they get you to my channel. But what my real hope is that you take the time to watch the long form essays, because those are ammunition. Yeah, you might get a sound bite from listening to Hassan or listening to any one of us here or there, but in my essays, it's all
It's
there.
a dissertation. It's
All there for
broken
you to
down.
take as much of it as you can into the next conversation that you have with friends or family about politics. Because again, this is whenever let's talk about narcissism for a second with people who want to have careers on camera. There's always going to be some narcissistic quality about people who want to be on camera. Okay,
Sure.
It's just whether or not you're aware of that narcissism. And I diffuse that criticism of me by saying this: I am not reaching conclusions that you would not come to on your own if you simply had been taught the critical thinking skills to know how to research these issues and then reach the conclusions. Because we have 45 years of history now to prove that neither baby boomer conservative capitalism nor baby boomer neoliberalism creates an equal opportunity society. Period. Just starting with that agreement makes the conversation productive.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's a great speech, and I'm excited to see the video, and I hope it works, man. I really do.
Did you have you been paying attention at all to the California governor's race?
Not so much. Just saw that Newsom said he called Israel apartheid, and it's like, oh, you got the polling back? Okay, we'll see
No,
if you
no. I'm
change your
talking
mind. 2 weeks from now.
about because right now there's 2 Republicans leading the governor's race in California because there's like 5 Democrats running. So
Oh.
they're trying to get the smaller Democrats to drop out. One of the Democrats is a guy named Tom Steyer, who's a billionaire.
Yes, I
And
saw
he
that
just
interview
did.
with his.
I just reacted to that video this morning
Okay,
on
I'm interested.
my channel, and I was actually pretty impressed with Tom. I know I've paid attention to him. I know who he is and what he stands for. He was a little bit of a cowboy in corporate America. He took a lot of risks that a lot of people wouldn't take. He definitely, he is Jewish, so his refusal to say Israel is committing genocide and refusal to admit that, yes, they are going to kill these people. They would ideally like to kill them. He's like, oh, they just want to get them out of there. I'm like, no, they want to fucking kill
Well,
them,
that's
dude.
also genocide too.
Yeah, exactly.
forcefully
It's either,
displacing a
it's
people.
either, yeah, exactly. It's either you leave or I kill you. That's the same thing. So that was obviously the softest spot. But Tom Steyer is a smart and, more importantly, very experienced guy. So he has worked the system. He took ownership, like a man does, of investing in private prisons
Right,
and saying,
I saw, yeah.
I realized what was going on. I got out of there and I regret it. But here's the thing. He learned about it. Like, he knows
Right.
about it and cares and wants to make a difference. And that was my reaction, my main reaction with these rich guys who are trying to win the hearts of the working class voter is, we're all going to be dead someday. I got all the money I need from me and my family. Okay. I care about what people are going to say about me when I'm gone. And if that's vanity, if that's narcissism, so be it. I care.
Right.
And here's why, that's why I'm running. It's like,
I remember.
he says like, but because he says like, oh, that's not consistent with my values, the private prisons and supporting Israel and so forth. And I'm like, yeah, okay, your values, but think about like the suspicion that voters naturally have of people running for office is what's in it for them.
Right.
What are they looking for? And if you're really honest with the public about what you want, yeah, I'm Dieter McBusiness. I'm running for California governor because this state is falling short of its potential, and it's fucking pathetic that one party has dominated this state, the 4th largest economy in the world, for so long, and we still have the 31st ranked public schools in the nation. That's fucking pathetic. And here's why I'm running, because I care. Like that whole ethos. But with all that said, I think he's like a B plus, man. I don't know. I think of all the people running for governor of California, he might be the one I like the most right now. That could change.
I mean, look, I remember Tom Steyer from, was it 2020? Putting ads out that were just like, hey, screw Trump. And it was just
Right.
like kind of that was it. But I was like, this guy has enough money to put ads out. And then I think he was on the debate stage, maybe.
Yeah, he was. He was on the
For
debate
president,
stage for
okay.
a while, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's a billionaire. It's always going
I
to be a
know.
little like, we're side eyeing you a lot, especially Hassan's audience or this audience here. But I think there's potential. There's potential. I'll say that much right now.
Well, he's better
But
than Swalwell, and I think he's.
Yes.
I kind of think he's better than Katie Porter too. To be honest with you, sad
See,
to say.
I don't know.
I
don't
like
know
Katie
enough
Porter.
about them. Yeah,
I
I
like
remember
Katie
Katie
Porter.
Porter with her whiteboard. It's kind of it. It's kind of what I
Yeah,
remember.
exactly. What has she grown from there? Like, where did
Right.
she, where did her trajectory go? And I mean, I love the fact that she's like the mom you wish you had growing up.
Yeah.
Right. That's her ethos. But it's like,
But
we
it's
need
not gonna
we
be
need
enough.
killer we need killers right now.
Right. I mean, Jasmine Crockett went on, hey, look at all the times I dissed Trump or dissed Republicans. That's enough to get me a Senate seat, right?
Nope.
You need more.
You got to have to replace it. It's not enough to supplant. You have to replace.
And with that, I want to play this clip. I want to get your reaction to this because I
Yeah,
played
sure.
this yesterday on my show. This is Lindsey Boylan, who is running for city council here in New York. I was petitioning for her, and she may be on the show again on the 17th.
Oh, cool.
She's talking about Mamdani. There was a lot of snow, like we talked about in the beginning of the show, a lot of snow here. And Mamdani said, hey, come sign up and we'll pay you $30 an hour to shovel snow.
I saw that on
And she's
Instagram.
saying,
Yeah.
expand that.
That's the sound of boots on concrete. I'm Lindsay Boylan, and I'm running for City Council District 3. You never would have guessed we had a historic blizzard this week. You noticed a difference? I've noticed a difference. Moms with strollers, people with mobility devices, little kids, people wearing heels to work. New Yorkers took up some shoveling and made all of our lives a little bit easier. These newly created city jobs filled up fast. And we have so much appreciation for all of the New Yorkers who mobilized quickly to make our city better. What if we had a municipal jobs guarantee? What if you needed a job, you could get it quickly from the city with a livable wage and union benefits? Expanding incredible programs like the SYEP to a guarantee for all to take home a living wage, improve our green spaces across the city, and improve our communities as a whole. I want our city budget to invest in us, and these clear roads are evidence of the fact that people want to work hard in good paying jobs that give back to the city that they love. This is what keeps us moving, New York. Thank a city worker today.
And that's I think that's a fucking great idea. That if you're out of work, I mean, the job market is a fucking mess.
It's a mess.
Relying on capitalists and their whims is kind of shitty for something that everyone needs to survive, which is money, and you get money from work, and work is controlled by the capitalists, and they can decide we have jobs available or we don't. That kind of sucks. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to go, okay, well, I can't find any jobs on the job market here on Indeed or LinkedIn or whatever. Let me go to the city, and they just have jobs available all the time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? I think that would be great.
Well, that would be great, but is there a demand for that many people to have those kinds of, like, how many of those jobs are there?
I mean, for snow shovelers,
temporary. It's a day
temporary,
gig.
Probably
Yeah,
temporary.
it's
However,
like going, yeah.
picking up trash. Maybe we don't need to use prison labor from Rikers. Maybe we could close Rikers. Maybe we could, pay them more. That's a whole separate conversation. But picking up trash and litter, constant need for that in New York, and constant need for that, I think, everywhere in every city or town in the country. I think people, security guards for parks.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a cool communication style. I would just like to see a little bit more of a comprehensive presentation, because that's a huge promise, and I hope you can deliver. But it's going back to film school or going back to any school, you realize about building things and catalyzing change. It's one thing to have a good idea; it's another thing to execute it well.
Well, Ghost Dog brings up the fact that crime rates crashed because of these temporary programs. I don't know if it was because of these programs, but the January reports of crime here in New York are way down.
Oh, good.
And I think it's because of the quality of life in the city improving, slowly but surely improving. I think a job. I mean, look, she said there already is a summer youth employment program. I took a PA program. You know this, but for the audience, a PA is a production assistant on a film set. New York has a lot of film productions, just studios here in the city. New York City has its own production company, you could say, called Made in New York. If you take this program, you can enroll in it. It is free to enroll, I believe. You will be taught how to be a PA. You'll be taught how to even make. I took it. I went through the program. How to make a resume, how to apply for jobs, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to just do this for a PA program. It was sanitation workers. It was janitors. It was security guards. It was a bunch of things that just companies that do business in New York need. The one I happened to be in was for production assistants. The only reason I didn't finish that program is because you needed to get a driver's license, and I failed my test several times, so I couldn't actually move on. Yeah, still don't have my license. You need to get a driver's license, and then on top of that, get a trucking license, because as a PA, you would be driving film equipment around the city. But programs like that, where you can just be like, oh, let me just go to the city website, and there's a whole department of jobs programs, and I can pick and choose what I want to apply for and go through that. That would be fucking fantastic.
Dude, people would do it just for the benefits.
I
would.
And like she said, benefits, union jobs, good pay, all that, all that. I think. How do you feel about ending on the Epstein stuff?
Yeah, sure, why not?
There's not too much out of this, except for, dude. I don't know if you've seen this clip. I played it yesterday. Bill Clinton testifying, and he's looking at pictures from the island, from like probably pictures of him and Epstein and girls, and just look at the expression on this motherfucker's face and what his lawyer does. Now he looks like he's nostalgic. He's like, "Oh, I remember her." And she's like, "Bill,
Okay.
stop smiling, you idiot."
Mr. President, we have about 5 minutes remaining in the majority.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Just he's
But
like
the good old
so-
days. Oh, I remember that. Oh, that was back when I was president.
Oh man, that was the good times. Me and Jeff and Don, we would go. Fucking insane. Fucking insane. And then today, Ken Klippenstein reports that the House votes 357 to 65 to block release of congressional sexual misconduct and harassment reports.
Whoa. Why?
So I want to take a look at these 357
So many
people.
Yes, so many of them. Only 65 people. Is that like 60? Is that because like that's all 65 women in there? Like,
I bet, right?
like every other man, and like a lot of women voted against it too.
Yeah, crazy.
There's more than 65 women in Congress.
Crazy. And then this was Hillary Clinton
Yeah,
being
she
asked
loses it. I saw this. Yeah.
about Pizzagate.
Yeah.
This is just, I mean, and again, there are, now that the files are starting to come out, there are emails that seem like they are using terminology like slices of pizza or grape soda
code
or
words.
whatever as code words. But to tie it all the way back to Pizzagate,
Campaign $25,000
is
via
Excuse
affiliate
me, could you
to
state for the record, it was not to the campaign, so if you wouldn't mind just stating. the fact of it.
$20,000 to Hillary's 1999 Senate
No, it was
campaign?
a
That's
joint,
inaccurate.
it was a joint
Okay,
state campaign
joint campaign, okay, sure.
fund.
Okay, so we have talked about those connections. In past public statements, as in 2017 speeches and interviews, you described Pizzagate as a baseless conspiracy theory, alleging you and others ran a child sex trafficking ring from a Washington pizzeria basement. Have you reviewed any 2025, 2026 Epstein files that were released that you believe reference or relate to those specific 2016 claims regarding the Podesta emails, Comet Ping Pong Pizza used as code possibly?
I'm sorry, does
You're
this
asking
relate?
her about whether
Excuse me.
she's reviewed emails
In the Epstein files.
which relate to the wacky Pizzagate
You
scandal.
could characterize it however you want. I just would like to know if she's familiar with any of them.
So
She's
excuse me,
commented-
your question is about whether or not she has reviewed any emails in the Epstein release files
Mhm.
about Pizzagate.
Correct.
Pizzagate
No.
was totally
Say
made up.
no.
yeah, say no.
She's better trained. Just say no.
Yeah.
That's what
Now-
you do in depositions. You shut up.
This is Bobert asking this question, and Bobert's a fucking idiot. But I personally, I'm getting nostalgic for Benghazi and the trial, the hearings that she had to go to, where who was it, Trey Gowdy and
Yeah.
not Eric Holder.
Trey Gowdy got a Fox show out of that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Hey, before we go, I want to give us some props because we brought the viewership back up from 9 to 27 during
hell
the
yeah,
last
man.
hour. So hopefully we'll tee it up for those Lumen guys. Lumen's coming in with Pep Talks maybe next.
Well, actually, I think Pep Talk. I was just watching Pep Talks before we jumped on here, and he was saying that he has an interview with you, sir.
yeah, that I had
that
on
he's gonna be
Saturday.
playing, next.
Oh, is he gonna play?
So,
Oh, he's gonna play that next. Oh, sweet.
yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, all right, guys.
We're gonna
We'll
get
stick
a
around if
double
you-
dose of Dieter, folks.
Double dose of Dieter McBusiness, guys. That's awesome. Yeah, please, if you haven't, I'm going to send out a link right now to my YouTube channel. Please help me grow by subscribing. Do the same for Alex's channel. And it's been awesome hanging with you guys, youtube.com. And Alex, I'll let you have the last word. But for all of my people watching, don't forget that you don't get change in America by asking nicely.
Folks, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about this space. Tell everybody in every chat and Discord and Reddit and other content creators live chats that this space exists, that we are here live Mondays through Thursdays, pretty much all day. I've been saying it in my videos on my channel. Like I said, today I got a reaction to the Green Lanterns TV series coming out on HBO in August, preventing that, provided that Paramount doesn't cancel it all. If they buy Warner Brothers by that time, let's fucking cross fingers and knock wood. I need my good Green Lantern material. Folks.
And just to be clear, it's Lumen next, and then the interview with me in Pep
Right.
Talks. That's the
Okay.
order of operations here.
And this weekend, I'll